Welcome to Economics Trainer. This video was made to help you strengthen your skills in microeconomics. Here we have a sample question, care of brighttutoring.ca. It's the kind of question you'd expect to see on a test in a first-year microeconomics class. Let's work through it together. So here's the question. Consider a monopolist with a total cost curve of q squared plus 4q plus 36, which gives them a marginal cost equation of 2q plus 4. And they face a market demand curve of market price P equals 100 minus the market quantity. Now what we have to figure out is the marginal revenue equation for the monopolist. And then once we have that, we have to find the monopoly equilibrium price and quantity. So let's start off with the first question to find marginal revenue. We know marginal revenue is the change in total revenue from the change in quantity. So here we're going to differentiate the total revenue equation, which is price times quantity. So we'll have the inverted demand curve for the price times the quantity. And then what we do here is you just have to use the product rule. So we diffy the front, you'll have the derivative of the inverted demand curve with respect to quantity times copy the back, and then plus, we're going to copy the front and then differentiate the back, which will just be 1. So here we can figure out these pieces pretty easily by just looking at the demand curve, the change in P from the change in Q, or the derivative of the demand curve. You can just see here, that's going to be -1. So I'll have -1 times Q, and then plus the price, which is the demand curve equation. So 100 minus Q. So what we get here for the marginal revenue is you have 100 minus 2Q. So you can see that's pretty much the same, or almost very similar, to the demand curve. You just have a 2 in front of the quantity. So that always happens when you have a linear demand curve. It's just twice the slope of the demand curve. So now we have the marginal revenue figured out. Then we can figure out their optimal quantity by doing profit maximization, which is marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So marginal revenue was 100 minus 2Q, and the marginal cost curve was 2Q plus 4. So here we can solve for the quantity now. Move the 4 over, we get 96. And then here we have 4. So 96 divided by 4, it's going to be 24. So that would be the optimal quantity. We have 24. And then the monopolist can flex their bargaining hand and set the price equal to willingness to pay. So we're going to take this and plug it back into the demand curve and say, okay, market price P will be 100 minus the quantity, which is 24. So the monopolist market price, P star, is going to be 76. And that's what you have here. And that's how you do that question. This video is brought to you by people who like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support my work by buying me a coffee.